Field Team 6, register Democrats, save the world.
Hey America, it's Jason Berlin with a Field Team 6 COVID survival tip. Let's say you want to go for a walk, but you don't have a mask. Grab a pita, cut it in half, put a little peanut butter at the top for adhesiveness. Pita protective gear.
The answer is yes.
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 Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Yes. Sure.
There was unanimous agreement.
I completely agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No. No.
This is a very bad idea.
I liked beer, still like beer.
If you would have looked at this bill before, they had things, levels of voting that if you ever agreed to it, you'd never have a Republican elected in this country again.
Sadness, fatigue, trouble sleeping, a loss of interest in the things you once enjoyed. These are just some of the symptoms of CCD, chronic constitutional depression. It's a condition that arises when the fundamental principles of decency, fairness, and justice underpinning your democracy come under attack. For millions of Americans, these symptoms worsened considerably on November 8, 2016. Particularly at risk are children, the elderly, and men and women possessing a strong moral compass. CCD is exacerbated by constant voter suppression and can become life-threatening. Fortunately, there's help. Votarizer. This 100% natural solution comes in an easy-to-use web app that will help you register to vote in whichever state you live, overcoming the often arcane and vote-suppressing registration procedures commonly associated with CCD. Created right here on U.S. soil by the scientists at Field Team 6, Votarizer stimulates your sense of purpose, restores your political voice, and reconnects you with millions of Americans who share your passion for democracy. Tell your doctor right away if you're pregnant or nursing. It makes no difference to Votarizer, but they'd probably like to know. Symptoms of Votarizer do not include insomnia, loss of appetite, nausea, headaches, muscle spasms, physical dependency, or the risk of overdose. Votarizer can lead to greater sense of social responsibility and participation in democracy, increased feelings of well-being, hopefulness, and positivity about the future of America.
Tell you what I'm looking forward to.
What?
New baseball season, baby.
Oh.
Right?
Hey, you know what? They're going to have some really strong players this year.
No kidding. Who's on first?
Black Lives Matter.
Damn straight. I was just asking you who the player was at first base.
Black Lives Matter.
Can't say it enough. But at the position of first base?
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, got it. How about second?
Take a knee.
Right now?
Well, hopefully forever, because the guy is great.
Who?
The second baseman.
Whose name is?
Take a knee.
Is that what you'd like me to do?
Do what, Rick?
Take a knee.
Oh. great at second base.
Who?
Take a knee.
Reno, would you like me to take a knee before you say his name?
Oh, no, he's on third. We'll get to him.
Who?
Say his name.
How am I going to say his name if you haven't told me yet?
Rick, I just told you.
When?
Just now.
You said take a knee.
No, he's on second.
I thought you said that
No,
first.
first is Black Lives Matter.
You and I agree.
Good.
I'm just trying to figure out who's on the team.
Bro, you already know who's on the team.
I already know who's on the team.
First is Black Lives Matter, second is take a knee, third is say his name.
It's a hell of a lineup.
We might go all the way this year.
Bye, Donny.
Bye, Donny.
Bye, Donny.
Bye, Donny.
Bye, Donny. Bye, Donny.
Bye-bye.
Mazel tov to you.
Bye, Don.
Happy retirement.
Bye-bye.
I'm naked.
I'm completely butt-ass naked.
I'm naked. I'm like naked.
There isn't a man behind me. These are my hands.
Why you want me to be naked?
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ruffalo, put your clothes on.
To be honest, I wish I could cover my hands with my boobs, but here we are.
I'm here to talk to you about voting. Did you know that ballots could be naked?
And if you don't do exactly what I tell you, your ballot could get thrown out.
This is my ballot. Just got it.
First of all, when your ballot comes, you're supposed to read the instructions.
Read and follow the instructions that come with your ballot.
If they say to use a black pen, use a black pen.
I know that's like literally the least sexy thing a completely naked person could say, but...
But I have chram like can of Pepsi. Is problem?
Number 2.
In some states like Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
There are 2 envelopes you have to stuff your ballot in. Otherwise, it's called a naked ballot.
Naked ballots. And you don't want to have one of those.
Number 3, mail your ballot in as soon as you can.
Don't sit on them. Get those things out ASAP.
Like now.
Do it!
Get it in as soon as you can.
I gotta get my ballot to the motherfucking post office. Let's go.
Please vote.
Take your clothes off and vote.
Vote, vote, vote. Everyone's voice matters in this election. Please vote.
America needs you.
This is breaking news. NBC News now projects Raphael Warnock as the winner.
John Ossoff, the Democrat, will win the Senate runoff in the state of Georgia. Democrats will regain control of the U.S. Senate.
Anything is possible.
Now the whole country is watching us.
Tens of thousands of voters are registered.
Let your voices be heard.
We are a force to be reckoned with.
Welcome, welcome, everybody. Believe it or not, it's been 5 years. It's gone by in a second, but tonight's going to be a little bit a walk down memory lane. We're going to see some videos that are more or less chronological of how the organization has developed over the years. Jeff, who's the handy dandy lead of our media team, is here running the videos and cut most of them, not all of them, but most of them. And you're going to meet some of the people who have been absolutely essential to the success of Field Team 6. We're also going to meet some people who have gone on to lead their own organizations. But first, I want to introduce the executive director of Field Team 6, Jason Berlin.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I am so thrilled that we're here on this Zoom, but that we're also here at the end of 2023 as an organization. We still exist. We did it. We could not have survived this long and done so much good without everyone on this call and so many more volunteers, donors, volunteer staff, organizers, partner organizations. And so this is really a beautiful moment that we need to celebrate. I am now going to introduce a video. This is
actually, I'm throwing to you early because I know there is somebody who can't be here for much of tonight's program. So you're to introduce somebody who's been with us since the beginning. And do I need to do more?
You do not. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so and then we'll get back to our regular scheduled program.
Wonderful. Okay. Field Team 6 started right after the 2018 midterms, and there was just I'll get more into this later, but it was a whole bunch of volunteers, and it was me, and that was it. I was drowning all day, every day, and then someone called me up and asked if I needed help, and I was like, yes. And she came on. She was the first member of Field Team 6 with me, and we would not be here if not for her. She is a legend. She's the most inspiring person in the world, and I present to you Sarah Jakle. Yay. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, did you want me to unmute myself?
Yes.
It's up to you.
All right, I just really quickly, because I don't want to take any time, I will just say 5 years is 1,000 years in activist lives. And if you all don't mind putting hearts on your screen for the incredible Field Team 6 family that is represented on this call, Jeff, Deb, Dale, Kala, Jason. I mean, there's so many people even in the chat. I will not take up any more time because this is about the future, but what an honor to be thrown to me. Jason, what an honor in those early days in your living room to see what it's become. I'm so incredibly proud to have ever been associated.
You are the best. You're the best. Sarah became our national outreach director and so much more. When there's only 2 people running an organization, you do a lot of different things. She is so amazing. There's just one sentence anecdote about her, how legendarily inspiring she is. She led a meeting once and pitched Field Team 6, and people just started writing checks and giving them to her. They're like, what can I do? I need to be part of this. So yeah, she's amazing, and I learned so much from you. You're the best. Thank you so much for being here.
And we would be remiss to not mention that she runs Democracy, which is a wonderful organization that is working with young women in high school. Sarah, I'm going to do your pitch for you just for a second. When a man is asked to run for office, it takes a couple of asks. When a woman is asked to run for office, it takes 7 or 8 or 9. And Sarah's idea was to start asking women while they're in high school and giving them the resources so that they feel confident enough to run when it's time to run. And so that's what her organization does. And they are mentored, they are given a safe environment to work in, and they are amazing. So if you've ever been to Ballots Over Broadway, which is a shared fundraiser between Democracy and Field Team 6 that's held every year in a backyard in Los Angeles, it's wonderful. You will hear those women speak at that event, and it is unbelievably moving. So Sarah, thank you for being here. You're a huge part of the organization's trajectory and your own trajectory for democracy as well. So thank you. All right, so I'm going to turn on the Wayback Machine right now. Imagine the pandemic has just hit. Field Team 6 is now in the middle of a pivot, but we have our first meeting post-pandemic where we're all locked in and we're on Zoom, but we need a video and we need it to be funny, but Jason needs to shoot it himself against green screen, and Jeff talks him through how to do it. Jeff, roll the tape.
Housekeeping. Smells like flop sweat and McGriddles. Whew, I'm glad you're all here. Together, we can make this place look all shiny and sane in no time. You, scrape off the tanning oil and onion rings off the couch. Now, who wants this? I'm looking for someone who loves America almost too much. Nope, right, I'll do it. This November 3rd, help us clean house.
Yep, had to practice that plunger swing a few times. But very helpful in real life. Yeah, Jeff Seeloff, amazing video editor, responsible for so many of the great videos that we've put out since we started. Not everyone has an amazing video editor. Super grateful to you, Jeff. So I want to introduce now a celebrity father and daughter duo who are amazing and have helped Field Team 6 immeasurably in so many different ways. They've helped us with just so many different kinds of events. We had something called Celebrity Text Banks back in the 2020 cycle, where we had people would text and celebrities of different kinds would show up and talk to each other while texting themselves. I never heard of that before. They made that possible. They've helped with awards shows and a series called Drinks for Democracy, the Blue Corn, Iowa benefits. They got so many of their friends to appear in our flagship video and just have helped immeasurably. We wouldn't be Field Team 6 without you two, Zoe and Jeff Perry.
Hi.
Hi.
It's so nice to be here. And by the way, I feel like I've had the smallest part in what has been such an amazing experience. And I'm so grateful to have just been brought in my tiny way and to know you all and to get to witness this organization grow and flourish. And it's been incredible.
Yeah, I second all of that. It's been a real pleasure, real honor to be part of the effort, however small or medium we have been, because the effort has been amazing. And Dale and Jason and everybody that I've met, my God, you are indefatigable. And we got no choice. I loved your email today, Jason. It's like, okay, this is it. This here is it. Little less than a year. And it's the full Monty, the everything, the soup to nuts, the leave it all on the floor, kind of effort that's got to happen. Because if the orange monster gets the Republican nomination. He's made it very clear what he intends to do. And I think he intends to take us to much more fulsome autocracy and dictatorship than he was able to pull off the first time. So we got to stop that. Nobody wants to live in that country. At least not on this screen. Thanks, guys.
It's true. It's true. Thank you. Your contribution to what we've been doing is not small or medium. It's large. It's big gulp. So you're very modest, but we are super honored to have you on so many different events. You're the best. You always bring humor and just centeredness, zen to everything you're part of. So, mwah.
Well, we think that's what you bring, Jason, what the whole team brings, because everything we've been a part of has always been a lot of fun. And I feel like that's something that is just a part of this group. And I think it's what attracts so many amazing volunteers and activists, because, you get to meet people, find community, and enjoy your time as you do it, as you try to save the world.
That's true. Activism, if you're doing it right, should be fun. It should be rewarding, and you come for the cause, but stay for the people. And we make that Field Team 6. I'm super proud of humor, making everything funny. Sometimes a weekly newsletter, I write the opening and Dale's like, nah, it's not funny enough. And that's a legit criticism, and I will go back in, or he will, and funny it up, or one of the people on our newsletter team. You need that to make make life worth living. You need to be able to joke about things. We also take very seriously when on a text bank or phone bank, some Republican says something absurd. Let us know, let the other volunteers know, and we make fun of that person. Absolutely necessary,
All right, so it's so true.
So speaking of meeting people, let's meet an oligarch. Jeff?
Donny, so nice to hear from you. Wait, slow down. What are you worried about? Voterizer. What is that? Registration portal. Is only for Democrats? Is trending on Twitter. All right. How about this? How about you call U.S. out of NATO, and we'll see about this voterizer. Yes, deal. You lose election, you come live here, like Snowden. We love Americans. You are a very tough negotiator, Mr. President, and very good looking.
That is so good. Jeff shot that on his own. We didn't know professional writers wrote that. He just shot that, Jeff Seeloff. And it turned out like that. So I want to, just in the spirit of thankfulness, just nod to the fact that these last 5 years, they've been 5 years on the calendar, but they've been more than a usual 5 years, and they have aged us, here in Field Team 6, like each one of us was a president, So I hope people aren't embarrassed, but I just want to take a look at first, just as part of their sacrifice, Cory Alpert, he is our chief strategist. And just here's how he looked in 2018. And then with everything we went through, here's how he turned out this year. Oh, takes your breath away. It's just, wow. He's been through so much, you know? Another, you know, I hope I'm not embarrassing you. Our amazing COO Dale. Here he is in 2018, and this will shock you, but you know, after everything we've been through, that's what he looks like in this year, current day. And you know, it's a little self-aggrandizing. I feel a little conceited, you know, saying this, but I seem to be the only one who has escaped these ravages of time, you know, just I'm totally unscathed. That's you know, when we started, and here's me now. You can't even tell. Just, I don't know. It's lack of exercise is my secret. We also have AI is getting so good, and I used it just to project what I'm going to look like after the 24 election. So it is possible to escape you know, the ravages of time just by being a good activist, is the moral of that. So now I'd like to go into a video. This is just a little taste. It's far from all of the things that we've done over the last 5 years, but the graphics for just a little taste of those. Let's check it out.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too hot to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too hot to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too hot to bring me down. Can't none bring me down.
That is exactly how my day goes. That's kind of just feels like a day at the office for me. A super shout out to Kat Landry, who built all but 3 of those graphics. And if anybody can point out the graphic that actually didn't get used, that was in there that she built that we didn't use, you win a prize. So just type it in the chat if you saw a graphic that we never used. But yeah, if that's not a way to trigger memories of what you did at some point with Field Team 6 along the way, I don't know what is, because there's a lot of things that I recognize and feel. I mean, I'm part of making those graphics, so of course I recognize them, but I also remember going to those events and helping with those events and setting up those happy hours. I mean, Andrew from Tennessee is here for the Tennessee happy hour. He shouted that out in the chat. So anyway, yeah, terrific.
Nice.
Terrific.
When I see that, when that washes over me, I mean, besides like wanting to cry and also just like laugh hysterically, like the sheer tonnage of events.
That's not anything close to everything, because Jeff and Zoe Perry are here. They did a series of events called Drinks for Democracy. I don't have a graphic in there for it. Like I literally just did not get one in.
Yeah, it also, I look at that and I'm like, no wonder we're tired. If you feel a little fatigue every once in a while, you should.
I think it's a good justification for our fatigue. Well, hopefully this has brought up for some of our super volunteers.
I want to just do a brief history of Field Team 6.
Is that now? Brief history?
Yeah. Just
all
real
right,
fast.
go for it.
And then we go into that. So yes, as a lot of you know, I was a TV writer for 18 years, and then Trump got elected, and it broke my heart and brain, and I needed to give that up, and I dove into volunteering. Just want to go back to 2016 for a second, and just so we can remind ourselves of all that we have built since 2016 as Field Team 6 and as a movement. In 2016, AOC was a bartender. Raphael Warnock was a preacher. Congressman Maxwell Frost was in high school, I think. Nobody thought about Biden at all, except, it's a good former vice president. I was writing for Sharktacular, the Shark Week preview special. It was a different world. What we have built since then is incredible. Remind yourself of that. Center yourself in that power when you're feeling tired or down, because we have built, more than anything, we have built us. We have built this national activist infrastructure that Field Team 6 is proud to be a small part of. We built us, an energetic, well-trained core of national activists. We've had 7 years of training now. That's almost 2 Army stints. No wonder we're so effective. No wonder when something comes up that would have been completely obscure in 2016, like a Wisconsin Supreme Court race. What is that? We attack it, and not, of course, giving full credit to the amazing organizers in Wisconsin and Ben Wickler and the Wisdems. There's also a national activist infrastructure, including us. We trained our fire on that and flipped that court liberal by 11 points in a landslide. Things like that are unheard of. So I'm getting sidetracked, but as class of 2016, a lot of us came alive. I'm not alone. There's hundreds of thousands of us. We were part of an historic surge of activism, bigger than anything since the 60s. My organizing partner at the time in the California Democratic Party, in the lead up to 2018, had the idea for Field Team 6, and we actually brainstormed ideas. He came up with a name, so if you don't like it, it's his fault. And we were playing with SEAL Team 6, who went behind enemy lines to do the impossible, like we do in these purple districts. We go into purple districts, find Democrats on a search and rescue mission for fellow good-hearted souls, turn their voices into votes. But it's also because the group of the best people in the world at registering voters, I nicknamed them SEAL Team 6. So it was a play on that. They happen to all be women. All but one of them, I think, were 60 and over, and they remain completely amazing. And in the field, registering voters in Orange County, California, in Antelope Valley. They're they're amazing. So my organizing partner had the idea for Field Team 6. After the 2018 Blue Wave midterms, my job ended with the California Democratic Party. That was routine and also insane. And so I went ahead with Michael's idea. He got a real job, but I went ahead with it anyway, not because of me, but because of the army of volunteers that had rallied to do this and was ready to keep going in the battle of 2020. And they continued doing it. The women of SEAL Team 6 were proof of concept. And so I started Field Team 6 so that there could be a place where institutional knowledge gathered about partisan voter registration. And it was not just thrown in the garbage after every election cycle, like in the past. So our explicit goal is registered Democrats save the world. And we went national. Sarah Jakle joined us just in time, saving my life and the life of the organization. Then Wayne Liebman reached out, asked if he could help. He joined. He has a magic gene that allows him to talk to new volunteers, find out what they like to do, match it with what we need done, and start teams. Make them a leader of a team if we don't have one already. And so because he has that crazy genetic X-Men anomaly, he built what was now over 20 teams, between 100 and 120 volunteer staff who do the amazing work that the Field Team 6 gets done. They're responsible for it. In that first year, 2019, Field Team 6 went broke about 36 to 51 times, depending how you count. We kept on going under zero and then back up. Someone would throw us a fundraising, a rent party, basically in their backyard. We'd, surface above zero. But volunteers did not give up on us. Donors did not give up on us, including lots of people here, I'm sure. And you kept us alive. We put together a roundtable steering committee that gave us guidance. Really, like some of the best and brightest people I know in life are on this and have been on this volunteer steering committee. That year, I also started having brunch with an old friend who would give me one of my sorry, this event is like my personal biggest crying challenge in life. So I'm going to be crying. He gave me one of my first ever TV writing jobs. And so we would have brunch, maybe once a month. And I would tell my troubles to Jesus, and he would give me some really good advice. He was a producer and sometimes director and writer as well from entertainment. And he's the one who, when I said we just need 85,000, 100,000 to survive till the 2020 election, he was like, okay, abolish that thought from your brain for a second. What do you need to actually do what you need to do? Is it 1 million? Is it 2 million? Dream big. And that's just a taste of how inspiring and amazing he is. And so that friend, of course, is our COO, Dale Roy Robinson, who came on. We raised just enough money to hire someone, hired him. He came on 2 weeks before COVID hit. And that could have been the death of Field Team 6 right there. Scene. And on a cliffhanger, to be continued.
Wow. I don't know where to go from there. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to you crying and I didn't figure out where I was supposed to go next. Oh wait, I do know. The video and what Jason's talking about is definitely bringing up, anecdotes from some of our super volunteers. So I do have a favorite thought, a favorite memory from Field Team 6, but actually somebody else is going to tell it later. So I'm going to tell my second favorite memory, which was during a fundraiser in 2020. It was with Grassroots Dems HQ, and Don Foster was in the audience, like he often was for our fundraisers, and There were lots of familiar faces or whatever. And I was emceeing the event, as often I do. And I got caught up in the excitement of raising money. And without asking Jason, I auctioned his shirt off, his own back. He literally took it off. If you go back and watch the recording, he's actually shirtless at the last part of that. And then we we got somebody to turn that shirt into masks, which were then given to the top donors that night. So we were also using it to get bigger donations because they would get a mask made out of Jason's shirt. I did later find out that shirt was a gift someone gave to Jason. And I felt terrible, but it was super fun, and it's a fun memory to have. All right, Deb, do you have an anecdote or a story from Field Team 6 that is unmuted that you could tell us? What if it's unmuted? You're still muted. She keeps.
There, now I'm not muted
there
anymore.
We go.
Who knew? Who knew that it would happen that way?
Do you have a favorite memory, or?
I do. And it involves you, of course, because
now that's not fair.
yeah. Well, you were the one who told me we could do everything and anything, right? So yeah, I started volunteering with Field Team 6 back in 2019. And of course I was doing in-person voter drives because that's what we did. And then this pandemic hit and we had to come inside and we had to learn how to do all this other stuff, and we did. And then one day in March of 2021, Wayne called me and he asked me if I would consider taking over the Social Storm program. And of course I said, yeah, I'll do that, but I'll only do it if I can do a weekly training because I want to teach everybody else out there how to do what we're doing. And so then you, Dale, you called me a couple hours later and you said, okay, great, let's do the first one in 2 days. And I'm thinking, 2 days? I have no idea what we're doing. But we did it. And, I didn't know anything hardly
Deb,
at all.
How many followers did you have at that point on Twitter?
I had about 30 followers. Yeah.
And how many do you have now?
I have 27,000 followers. Yeah. It just happened, but it took 3 years to get there. It's not something that happens overnight. But, we've tried all kinds of things over the last 3 years, and most of them have worked. And now 5.5 billion impressions later, here we are, and it's worked. And one of the things that I love most about volunteering with Field Team 6 is that you guys inspire us to do all kinds of things. And you just say, well, you just inspire us to go jump in and try something that we never even thought about doing. And you listen to our crazy ideas and you say, go for it. And then we actually go out and do it and we make it happen. And that's what makes all of this so fun and rewarding, is that we get to try things that we never would have done before. And that, my friends, is how we're going to save the world.
That's exactly right. Deb, you are amazing, as I tell you often and not enough. But yes, and it comes from our volunteers always. I need to learn the person's name who put this in the BYOP chat, but about a month ago, there was a volunteer who put in the chat that he had sent 100 texts, which is the limit for the free text program that we have. We use Google Voice and they limit you after 100 per day. And he said, I just need to remember that if there were 1,000 volunteers sending 100 texts a day, we would be sending out 100,000 free texts every day. And I was like, that's a great idea. And so we started a phone bank, which is called Baby Come Back. We called people who have come to the BYOP trainings first, and we're going to call
some of the people here. Some of the people here may have gotten some of those phone calls. Thanks,
That's
everybody.
Right. That's right. I left a message for your daughter. So anyway, we're building that team of 1,000 texters who are going to send 100 texts a day, and we're going to get there. We're going to get to sending 100,000 texts a day, and then we're going to have to buy more phone numbers because we're going to run out after 2 months. But that'll be great. I look forward to that. All right, Joanne. Thank you, Deb. Joanne, what's your story?
Well, there was the time that I followed a juror on his break to register him, only to find out that he wanted to take a cannabis break in his car. So I'm standing there filling out his form while he's vaping like mad and smoke is billowing out of the car. But it was #worth it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. One of my favorite shows of this year is called Jury Duty, and I could see that absolutely happening on that show. I'm surprised that Joanne wasn't there actually when they broke and she was registering people outside. That would have been great. Do I have Cory? Cory.
Hello.
Hey. Do you have a favorite memory or anecdote? Look, he looks just like he did in 2018.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, a lot of my job with Field Team 6 is coming up and dealing with crazy ideas, including teaching folks what a CRM is. And Dale looked at me and said, I have no idea what that is. And to this day, including on a call earlier, still doesn't. But a couple of years ago, it was about this time of the year. I live in San Francisco, and I went down to a show at the ice skating rink in Union Square, where they had drag queens dancing on ice. And I had this idea that, you know what, that might be kind of fun. That might be an interesting way for us to do it. So about 2 months later, with huge thanks to a couple of major donors who made that happen, we produced this like hour-long special called America Needs a Queen. And I will never forget sitting on an ice rink in Pasadena at 3 a.m. after having just filmed the entire day's worth of content that includes drag queens ice skating and Vogue dancers doing a 100-meter dash on a high school track. And Jason will vividly remember when the track coach approached us and we thought, oh no, we're about to get kicked out or worse. And then he was a part of the skit. So we get to do a lot of really cool and interesting things here. And I always love that a huge part of my job and the thing that I get to do every day is come in and come up with weird ideas and get to roll with it. And I'd be remiss not to say, while I'm here, a huge thank you to Janet Algaze, who has made my life better in so many immeasurable ways, but in the measurable data one of helping really launch and manage all of our data stuff. So just wanted to take the platform for just a second to say a huge thank you to a person who has made my life a lot better in the last year or so.
Cory has actually de-aged over the last few months as Janet has taken on more responsibility. It's remarkable. Jeff, do you have that America Needs a Queen video that we could queue up? So Cory is responsible for things like when Jason and I are lamenting the fact that we have spent all of the money that we've raised, but we're sitting on a huge pile of data. And why can't we text for free? Cory is the one who goes away and comes back with BYOP, which is a spit and baling wire version of text banking that is on top of our free phone banking system because it's free because it comes free with the paid CRM, whatever that is. So, yeah. Cory does things like that, but he also comes up with things like America Needs a Queen, and he comes up with the Registered Democrats Summit, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But Dina, we're not telling you what CRM stands for. That is not part of this show. That is not part of this show. Okay, Jeff, you got it? Let's do it.
America is in crisis. She needs a leader. Oh my God! I don't know what I'm doing here! She needs a queen. Come cheer on your favorite drag queens in the event of the century. America Needs a Queen. Streaming live on February 3rd on Zoom and Twitch.
This November, this election is very important. Every vote counts. So make sure you get out there and register to vote. You better vote!
That is right. That was a fantastic event. I was supposed to direct it, and the night before the shoot, I tested positive for COVID, and so there was a fun conversation where I handed off the directing duties to Jason, who had not scouted and had no idea what we were shooting. So that was fun.
That was terrible. That was so terrifying. That was
All
terrible.
right. Now for her favorite memory of Field Team 6 is Kala.
Hello, everyone. So I resonated with what Deb just said about when I first came onto Field Team 6. The first person I talked to was Dale. And I told him I had this idea called Voices for Votes, and it would be this like series of different types of music and speaking and all that. And I'm an opera singer, and so I would get all my opera singer friends. He's like, okay, could you do it in a week? Or whatever it was that was completely unrealistic, like even 4 weeks. And I was like, no, how about August? I think this was in June or something like that. So we did it in August. But the story I want to tell is that when I first met Dale, and for about 18 months, we had this relationship, which was just like this. And I was mildly intimidated by him. He was very like, get stuff done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, very smart, very nice. And I thought nothing of it. We then met October 3rd, 2021 at Ballots Over Broadway. And I was very happy, having a great time. Jason showed up, I bawled my face off. And then this tall man walked through the gates. And I was like, who dat? Well, it was this man. And he had blue eyes, and he smiled under his mask, and he hugged me, and I cried. And he asked me out that night, and we've been together ever since. So
and I was wearing this shirt.
If you want to know where you can find the love of your life, it can be in activism and saving democracy. So that's my favorite story of all.
And that's also my favorite story, but I didn't want to take your thunder away, so I told the shirt off Jason's back.
And I appreciate that, babe. Thanks.
All right, so Jeff, let's roll a video that shows our love for all of our volunteers, not just Kala.
Field Team 6 believes you get more work done when the work is fun.
Oh, hi. I'm Jason Berlin with Field Team 6.
Hey, it's Sharon from Field Team 6 coming at you from a closet.
It's so wonderful to be gathered here tonight with Field Team 6, who really are the heroes of this evening.
Field Team 6 is doing such great work. Thank you.
They are a volunteer army on a simple mission that I think will resonate with a lot of people. Registered Democrats save the world.
I registered 6 new Democrats today. I got 6 too.
I have 2.
I got 5.
Registered
Democrats
save the world.
Register to vote on our new app, votarizer.org.
Votarizer. This 100% natural solution, created right here on U.S. soil by the scientists at Field Team 6.
Here's you trading angry texts with racist Uncle Wally.
There was a phase where it felt like Republicans had the edge on this one critical indicator. And Field Team 6 was registering Wisconsin voters all the way through that period.
And that's because they don't give up.
And here's you registering to vote.
We don't rise up and start registering. Just you wait. Just you wait.
Oh. Field Team 6.
Oh, it took over 3 months to memorize that choreo. You really have to be in shape to do that. Don't try that at home. You can hurt yourself. Okay. Field team, brief history of Field Team 6, part 2. When we left last left our heroes. Dale Roy Robinson had just joined us as COO, and then a global pandemic hit. Did we die? No, you'll be happy to know we did not die. As an organization, we were reborn. Angel on Earth Don Foster donated enough to allow us to hire wunderkind Cory Alpert, who is now our chief strategist. He was just hired, by the way, to help us do fundraising. He does maybe 10 jobs. Dale and I recently set out on a quest to figure out what all he does. And we didn't get to the bottom of that list, but we did get 4 pages in. It's incredible. So Dale and Cory together figured out that we could talk to, that no in-person voter drives could happen. And that's exclusively what we were doing. So they figured out that we could talk to the biggest political data vendors in the country and start to build a database, a unique, first of its kind database. No other organization in the country has one like this, that is unregistered people who are likely Democrats. The vast majority in swing states. We started raising enough money to buy a list of college students. Then we added a list of Black women, and we added Black men to it. We got a big national list of the Latino community, same-sex marriage supporters. We got purged voters, even some Trump defectors, and then boosted that with list buys in all the states that we needed, as we could raise the money. And we wound up building what is now our secret weapon. Using that, our goal, our stretch goal with just in-person voter drives was to register 100,000 Democratic voters by the 2020 election. We went digital and we did not hit 100,000. We helped register 785,000 Democrats and progressive independents by the 2020 election. Those voters, specifically, the ones who voted, made up 79% of Biden-Harris's margin in Wisconsin, 5 times their victory margin in Georgia, 6 times their margin in Arizona. The 3 states that tipped the Electoral College and deposed a dictator in the midst of a global, once-in-a-century pandemic. So remember that. You did that. And a global pandemic did not shut you down. You just got more powerful and made us more powerful and allowed us to help do that. In 2022, history told us 93% of the time the party in power suffers devastating losses. I stopped using that figure, 93%, because it was just too depressing. There was such a narrow runway to hit. You hit it. You turned a red wave into more of a rosé spritz. Republicans won the House, but just by the narrowest of margins, and set it up for some good stuff to happen in 24. So, namely us taking it back. And in 23, just this year, this new national activism infrastructure, including all of you here, won massive victories in Wisconsin, Ohio, Virginia, Kentucky, Colorado, New Jersey, and more. And paying attention to those polls, the ones that matter on election days, not the bullshit polls that New York Times released a few weeks ago. That means nothing. The elections are the real data points to pay attention to. Those polls are setting us up. If you connect those lines, those dots, the line that creates is pointing to the possibility of a huge sweep in 24. And that is what we're all here to do. We'll talk more about what we're going to do at the end, but I want to give thanks to everyone on this journey. It's like, not quite as fast as an Indiana Jones movie, but there are that many opportunities for things to go wrong. And you have kept us alive. You've kept us not just alive, but doing so much good. register by now. The number of Democratic voters, Democrats and progressive independents that we've helped register is up to 2.5 million. That's because of everything you've done. So thank you to everyone who's saved our life, including all the members of our steering committee, Patty Crane on messaging and data, Wayne on team building and Blue Voter Guide, a new sister project that was his brainchild. That is a free Blue Voter Guide that is going to be available in all 50 states. Put in your address, boom, there's your ballot, along with recommendations, endorsements by trusted organizations on the left for each candidate, prop, and judge. Super, it's a super tool that's going to unlock people's entire ballot, so they're not just using a part of their voting power. He did that. Sharon on postcarding, Mobes, and Zoom. She is one of our 2 czars of most things, also including Deb Verla, who is czar of social storming and texting and the free BYOP texting. Thanks to Kala on partnerships and events and just huge ideas that change the game in general. Thanks to Janet Ho on events and postcarding. She's helping run this event, even though she just had a baby a little while ago, because she's amazing. Thanks to Valerie Morishige, creator of the info team that takes people's emails, introductory emails, and who is just a total genius whose mind dwarfs mine. Rebecca Ninberg and Deb Falb and Sarah Jakle guiding lights previously on the volunteer steering committee, the roundtable. And thank you to Cory on strategy and data and fundraising and just game-changing ideas like America Needs a Queen and Registered Democrats Summit. Special thanks to Dale, who saved Field Team 6's life from the moment he got here. He built the database with Cory. He built Voter Drive in a Box, which is not available anywhere else on the internet. It's a simplified, a one-page how to lead a voter drive in every target state. He set up the whole postcarding department. He set up with Cory the free BYOP texting department. He set up with Tutor, social storming, made that easy and super powerful. He is master of the budget. He set up 10 other giant things I'm forgetting. The newsletter team. So just so much of what we do every single day. He's the hardest working man, formerly in show business. Thank you to people who've helped us along the way when elections got close and we could hire them for short terms that were helpful. Brandon, Misha, Michelle, Nicole, Mia, Yvette, Cece, Eric, Lewis, and anyone I've forgotten. Please forgive me. Hope I didn't. Know that I did. Thank you to the newsletter team, social media team, the data team, info team, voterizer team, Blue Voter Guide team, media team, volunteer intake team, the trainers squad, the partnerships team, all our czars of phone banking, text banking, postcarding, and so many more. I'll stop there. It's tough, but there's just so many really incredible people who make this thing work. Shout out to Field Team 6 alums who have started their own organizations. Sarah Jakle with Democracy, Wayne with Blue Voter Guide, Patty with California Grassroots Alliance, Don Foster with Texas Turnout and the Good Deed Corps. And thank you to every single person on here now and all of our over 18,000 volunteers across the country, and to every single donor who helps us keep the lights on, just barely, and keep us doing so much good. And every partner organization that we work with, they help us just multiply the good we do by, factors of magnitude. And now, since it's an anniversary, I think we should do it's a fifth one. That's it's important one. It's a wood anniversary. So I have a ring made of wood that I made. It's what our budget allows. And Deb, would you please officiate the renewal of vows?
I will. So everybody say it along with me.
Get on my knee.
Exactly. Perfect. I, your name.
I, your name.
Again, take Field Team 6.
Again,
Field Team 6.
To be my favorite Democratic voter registration organization.
To be my favorite Democratic voter registration organization.
For better or for worse, better election results for us, worse results for fascists.
Better, worse, better election results for us, and worse results for fascists.
For richer, for poorer, but mainly poorer.
For richer,
poorer, but mainly poorer.
Mainly poor.
In sickness and in health, realistically only in health.
In sickness and in health, realistically only in health.
Till whenever you need a break, do us part.
Till whenever you need a break, do us part.
Do you once again want to join Field Team 6 and have fun while saving the world?
I do. I doodly do. All right, toast. I haven't switched from coffee to wine yet, but toast in 2024. Let's shut them down and win it all.
Shut them down, win it all.
Here's to another 5 years.
All right, Jeff, I think it's time to run the summit promo. And we are going to see what fun it was last year. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up.
It's so great to be here with Field Team 6. I feel like Field Team 6 is family.
Field Team 6 is a volunteer army on a simple mission. Register Democrats, save the world.
I'm using my talents of my art and my activism of drag to get out there, honey.
I want to thank the whole team at Field Team 6 for recognizing the importance of messaging and using it to register and, of course, turn out new Democratic voters.
To have you all as a partner in this work is incredible. I'm grateful to you, and I hope that all the folks who are thinking about partnering with you run to do so, because you're easy to work with and you're committed to making our democracy endure.
I just want to say thank you to Field Team 6, to all of you for the role that you've been playing in our democracy.
Thank you for your organization. Thank you for your work.
Thank you to Field Team 6 for inviting me to participate.
It is an honor to be here with Field Team 6.
Thank you to Field Team 6. I love working with you, and this is an honor.
To Field Team 6, thank you for being great partners.
Thank you, Field Team 6.
Thank you all so very much here at Field Team 6.
And I want to thank Field Team 6 for bringing us all together. Let's do this.
Our battle for our rights and our freedoms, it is a battle that we are going to win when we take action together. And I just couldn't be prouder to be in partnership with Field Team 6. Thank you so much for having me.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So what's coming up is once again the battle of the century. This is for all the marbles. It's the whole shebang, whole ball of wax, soup to nuts, everything. We're ready for it. You're ready for it. And our goal is not to win this time in a nail biter. It is to speak in one voice and say no to misogyny, no to homophobia, no to racism, no to fascism, and yes to abortion rights, yes to civil rights, yes to women's rights, yes to LGBTQ plus rights, yes to workers' rights, yes to voting rights, yes to democracy. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And so coming up on March 14th, Pi Day of 24, we have our second annual Registered Democrats Summit. The last one, we had over 1,000 people attend, and it was an all-day blowout. This year's going to be even bigger.
stay tuned for that. And do we have a video for that we are going into?
No, that's what we just played.
That's what we just played. Remember that? Wasn't it great? The tears have blurred my vision. So please join us. We have stuff going on every day of the week. Join our BYOP texting team. Be part of that texting moonshot and get us to 100,000 texts a day. That is absolutely possible. We're already on our way. Join us for any one of, check out our volunteer ops page. Join us for any one of our opportunities, postcarding, texting, phone banks, in-person voter drives, social media storms. We got it all. There's a volunteer fair coming up. If you want a little bit of each, you want kind of a sampler platter of assorted outreach activities, see which one you like best, come to that. And yes, volunteer, donate, join us. Let's save the world again. Love you all so much. Thank you for inspiring me and just lighting up my life with meaning. It really is the greatest honor, second greatest honor aside from being my mother's son, my brother's brother, is fighting alongside you in this beautiful, beautiful fight. I never want to stop. That's because of you. Thank you so much. Love to you all.
Here's to the next 5 years.
Next
Let's
5.
go.
Next 5. Next 5.